Hello, you guys, fellas, ladies, subscribers, fans. Welcome to the Football Frame of Mind podcast. I'm your host, Cam, one half of the Football Frame of Mind podcast team. Um, we are late on our week three recap of the NFL season, but better late than never. Before we start, man, Uh, want to give a big shout out to Off the Ball Network for allowing us to use their platform to continue to grow our brand and continue to share our content with fans and around the world. So we want to really keep going, and we appreciate all the subscribers and the views that we've received to this point, man. Really appreciate it. To keep our hard work going, and we feel really good about the partnership that we have with Off the Ball Network. And we just want to say again, thank you to them, and thank you to all the subscribers and everything. So we want to get into this week three recap, man. So obviously I'm a Ravens fan, so let's start with my Ravens losing to the Colts, man. Really rainy game, man. And I guess Gardner Minshew is still trying to do his thing, that magic. So end up taking a loss to the Colts, man. But highlight a few things. The defense is really going to be the calling card, I guess, for the rest of the half part of the season. So looks really good. Defense looks really good. I mean, but I don't think we should have been losing to the Colts without Jonathan Taylor. But nonetheless, good game by them. But definitely, definitely should have scored more points against them. Watching a little bit of the game, I saw that Gus Edwards was out with a concussion. So that moving forward into next week is probably a big thing because now we're down another running back. So it'll be interesting to see who we pick up if he, can't go. Because losing Dobbins week one was horrible. And then losing Gus is not a good thing because he's a good goal line threat, in my opinion. So that hurt a little bit. But nonetheless, I still think our defense is really good. And I just want to see Lamar make more plays. You know what I'm saying? So he's got talent. That's not the question. The question is one, decision making and being able to put the ball in the end zone, man. We can't always depend on Justin Tucker to make all the points, man. So and he's human too because he missed some kicks. But like I said, we should have did that. But I mean, there was a couple of no calls that should have been called. But I don't like blaming the refs, man, because I mean, like I said, they're human too, man. You got to score, you know what I'm saying, to try and not keep the game in the ref's hands. So when you think about things like that, you know what I'm saying, you got to score more points because you don't want to leave it in, the ref's hands for a pass interference call or a holding call at the end of the game, expecting them to help you. So I still think we're a top 10 team if you check out our power rankings and the power rankings on Off the Ball Network. Both of the rankings kind of look like each other, and they have the Ravens in the top 10. So it's definitely a good one. So another game that I want to talk about is the Dolphins, man, putting a 70 burger on the Denver Broncos, man. Gosh, this was absolutely a shellacking, a destruction, a whatever you want to call it, man. This was not one of the games that you could look at and be like, well, we could really take some positives from it. I don't really think so, man. I really think that the Dolphins really beat the brakes off the Broncos and really exposed them to being like a team that could really just say, okay, well, maybe we should just tank for a top pick, man. And actually, I'm not even sure if they have a top pick because they gave up some draft picks to get Russell Wilson. So I'm not even sure if they have any first round picks this year. So I'm going to do some research on that. But it's not a good thing when you think about just the overall state of the team, man. I mean, you have former players like Shannon Sharp, saying that, this is disgusting. These players aren't good enough. He, sweat for that organization, man. Bled sweat and gave his heart out for that organization. So if he says that, man, this is not a good look and this is something that, isn't working, long term, there's an issue there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what Sean Payton can do, but the team probably just needs an overhaul. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, don't get it twisted, man. Nathaniel Hackett really didn't do that well, and I don't think he was ready for a head coaching job. But when I think about the product on the field right now, I'm looking at this team and it just doesn't seem good enough, man. I mean, it was to the point where a player, that I follow very closely, and Patrick Surtain, just looked really uninvested, especially late in the game when they're getting beat really bad. He's like, yo, you can tell by his body language that he's like, yo, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? And this is one of your A-list players, So it's important to, when you think about those things, to, like what can they do to fix it? But I really think this is one of the teams that really need an overhaul, man. But at the top of the list, is Russell Wilson, man. You have to, as the leader, the quarterback of the team, you have to really galvanize your group, man. And, since he's been there, it hasn't been that good. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been the best locker room guy. And if you hear some of his Seahawk teammates, back in the day say that, after the Super Bowl, he wasn't the same guy, and that's understandable. You know what I'm saying? But, you would think, okay, well, you're coming into a new place. You want to be a different kind of leader. And it didn't start off well. And now with this kind of loss, it doesn't feel good at all. The marriage between Sean Payton and Russell Wilson seems strained at this point. And between an organizational standpoint, man, if you watch our show, man, I mentioned that the Denver Broncos have new ownership, man. They have a lot of different people at the top, man. And they invested a lot of money. And this is not a product that they're going to be happy about. So I expect them, this week to be one of those weeks to decide what they want to do. And I think effort's going to be one of those key contributors to a decision about the team moving forward. Another game I want to talk to, because I want to beat up on the Denver Broncos, man. But obviously, before I get into my next game, let's talk about the Dolphins, man. They really put a shellacking on them, as I mentioned. That's my Super Bowl pick, man. Offensively, I think they're one of the best teams in the league. And, like I said, Tua's been healthy. Let's just keep, that going. Because right now he's the front runner for the MVP, and they're playing lights out, man. And until you become able to shut down their offense, man, you're in trouble, man. They have Mozart, they have A-Chain, they have defenders, they have everything. So it's important to realize that moving forward, man. But not the last game. I'm gonna do another one after this. But another game I want to talk about is the Packers and I believe the Packers and the Saints. That was an interesting game to me because the Saints are not a bad team, and they lost some. They lost their. I would say they lost Derek Carr early or in the middle of this game, and that hurt them a lot. Because I think you had to depend on Jameis Winston or something like that to come back in this game, and gosh, and didn't look really good, and it allowed the Packers to come back and win this game, man. So the Packers, to me, like I said, I'm really high on their defensive scheme. I'm not crazy, against it. So I appreciate them, really believing in Jordan Love. Yeah, Jordan Love to me is one of the most important players of the season, man, because he's really not a bad quarterback at all, man. Like, he's not. He seems to not only understand Matt LaFleur's system, but he seems like he's flourishing in it, man. And he's not like making decisions that are bonehead-esque. Obviously, they took a loss to the Falcons, I want to say last week or something like that. But it wasn't crazy, though. Like, it was literally maybe just the reps he didn't get with Aaron Rodgers there. So he's just getting more comfortable. But as far as the ins and outs of, um, him playing quarterback for the Packers, it's been a really, really good plan and experience, for him. And it looks good, man. And the fact that they came back and won this game shows that, hey, you know what I'm saying? And especially against a good Saints defense. Let's not forget that. The Saints have a very, very good defense. So the fact that he was able to make some plays late in this game and able to get the win really showed me something about the Packers, man. Like I said, I'm high on their defensive scheme. I love the 5-2 method that they have. It really allows their linebackers to flow sideline to sideline. But as I mentioned in another video, I think they need to be able to have a different package out of that, especially when you're going against teams that can spread you out, like the Dolphins and the Falcons did to kind of come back and win that game. So, like I said, man, I appreciate the Packers' effort, man, to come back in that game, man. Bro, Brandon's not the happiest about his Saints taking the L there, but like I said, it was a good game. But like I said, I expect Derek Carr to come back, and they're gonna get Kamara back at some point. So, offensively, I think it might have some stability there, moving forward with their good defense, man. So, like I said, good game. Like I said, one of the last games that I really want to talk about, man, that really kind of stood out to me is, let's see, we're gonna go with, let's see, you know what? I'm gonna talk about the Chiefs, man. The Chiefs and who they play? The Chiefs and the Bears, because this is another team that those are the two teams that are on opposite spectrums, man. Okay, so the Chiefs obviously are your Super Bowl defending champs, so they look like they could do another run. I mean, you look at Mahomes, and you look at Travis Kelce, like, they're making plays, like, and obviously Travis Kelce was probably turned up because Taylor Swift was in the stands, and he was turned up making plays, and Mahomes is being a great quarterback and just letting him have his moment, man. But winning the game was very important, and they did that handily. It wasn't that close at all, man. But the fact that, Mahomes is like, it feels like he's learning from like quarterbacks of the past, to the point where he got that big contract, and now he's kind of investing it back into the team. And they're able to get some players, man, that can really contribute, man. It's like you're looking at the team, and They got players, seventh round players contributing. They got offensive linemen from different places contributing. Obviously they got Tony, he's contributing. Gosh, they have many players on offense and defense that are really just contributing, and they look poised for another run, man. And it's like as long as you have Mahomes back there, and Kelsey, you're gonna have success there. And it's like he's not doing much at quarterback. He's just making the reads, making the plays, and like they're just doing it. Now, all right, looking at the other side. Obviously, Chiefs are very good. I think they can make a run to the AFC Championship game because I got the Dolphins winning the Super Bowl. But when you looking at the other side, obviously they playing the Bears. You know what I'm saying? But the Bears, it's a tough situation for them. I don't know what to really expect from them. I mean, you have Justin Fields, and I think Justin Fields is a talent. I agree with Terry Bradshaw what he said. He's like he is talented. We need to help that quarterback. And I mean it's true. Justin Fields is very very talented, man. I mean. And you don't want to see him running like that. You want to see him develop as a passer, man. But, like, you have to, you want to try to win some games, man. And them losing seems like it's not his fault, I mean, you're going against a juggernaut in the Chiefs, man. Defensively, like, you're going to have to bring your hard hat, man, to help him out, And he has, like I said, he has all the talent in the world. He has DJ Moore, and he has some, I guess you could say, maybe some talent at running back or something like that. But like other than that, it's not really much you can really sink your teeth in with the Bears, man. So a lot of people I see want to kind of blame Justin Fields for it, but I'm not really there yet. I don't think it's really his fault. I just think it's not enough around him so that the defense doesn't just focus on him, and I just think they just a team in flux right now. They want to be better, but they just don't have the pieces yet. So I'm not off of the Justin Fields train because I really think he's good, man. But like I said, this is karma from the Bears for the Bears, man. Because, I saw a post on like Facebook or one of the social media platforms that they haven't had a winning season since they fired Lovie Smith. And Lovie Smith was 10-6 that season. So this is karma, man. And they have karma from not drafting Mahomes when they had a chance to with the second overall pick and choosing Mitchell Trubisky. So, just karma for the Bears, man. And this is what they get. So, like I said, but enough about the Bears, man. Like I said, they got a long way to go, but the Chiefs look like they in mid-season form, and it seems like they can get a whole lot better. Yeah, so, like I said, man, that was one of the games that really stood out to me because of the storylines and what I saw after the game. So, like I said, this is a Football Frame of Mind podcast. I'm Cam. Like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe. And like I say all the time, from now on, give a big shout out to Off the Ball Network for giving us a chance to talk about the game that we love to talk about. So this is Cam, Football Frame of Mind podcast, signing off.